Students, this is your Olympiad guide of science for class 8. We here read different contents. Today we learn about light. What is a light? Light is a kind of an energy. Okay, it is an electromagnetic wave. The small particles of light are known as photon. Now we here learn about the concept of reflection. What is reflection? When light falls on object. Suppose light is coming from a source. After striking the surface, it goes to another side. When light falls on the subject, okay, and after striking the surface, it goes to the another another side. This phenomenon is known as reflection. We here get two types of reflection. One is regular reflection and another is irregular reflection. Irregular reflection is also known as diffuse reflection. What is regular reflection? When light falls on a smooth surface, okay, when light falls on a smooth surface and after striking the surface, it goes in a definite direction. That is known as regular reflection. In case of regular reflection, the surface must be smooth, and in case of irregular reflection, the surface is not smooth. In case of light, we get two phenomena. Okay, do you know what is the angle of incidence? When light falls on a surface, if the incident ray and the normal, what is a normal? The line drawn on the point of incidence, that is known as incident point. The incident ray and the normal forms an angle. That angle is known as what angle? Angle of incidence. Okay. And the reflected ray and the normal forms an angle. That angle is known as angle of reflection. In case of light, we get to law of reflections. The angle of incidence is always equal to the angle of reflection. And another law is the incident ray normal at the point of incidence and the reflected ray lie on the same plane. Okay. See, these are, suppose this is a source and from this a light comes. This is a mirror M dash, and after striking the mirror, it goes to in this direction. This is the incident ray. AO is the incident ray. Okay. And OB is the reflected ray. O is the point of incidence. And ON is the normal. The incident ray and the normal form an angle. This is known as angle of incidence. The reflected ray and the normal form an angle. This angle is known as angle of reflection. Okay. And these two angles are always equal. Okay. And another property of reflection is the incident ray, reflected ray, and the normal ON lies on the same plane. Understand this? These are the two laws. Again, see, there are two types of reflection. One is regular reflection. In case of regular reflection, what happens? When a parallel beam of light falls on a mirror, smooth mirror, the mirror must be, mirror means smooth. Surface, we can say surface, the surface must be smooth. After striking the surface, it goes in the parallelly out of the surface. Then these are known as regular reflection. See, these are parallel rays, and after striking the mirror, it goes outside of the mirror parallelly. And in case of irregular reflection, what happens? The rays, after striking the mirror, the surface, okay, this is rough surface. It is not plane. Rough surface. Okay. After striking the rough surface, it does not reflect it parallelly. So this is known as irregular reflection. Okay. See question number 1. If a ray of light falls on a surface perpendicular to it, what will be angle of reflection? So, see here, the light falls. How the light falls? That means like this, perpendicularly. Okay. If we draw a normal at the point of incidence, that means the incident ray and the reflected normal coincide. So the angle of incidence is what? 0 degree. Okay. Now what the question asks? The question asks, what is the angle of reflection? The angle of reflection. Since the angle of incidence is 0 degree, so angle of reflection must be 0 degree. So question number 1, it is the answer is B. Question number 2, C. Statement 1, laws of reflection is obeyed in regular reflection. Laws of reflection is obeyed in irregular reflection. What we find in case of regular reflection, when light falls on the surface parallelly, after reflection, it also reflected parallelly. So, the angle of incidence is always equal to the angle of reflection. Okay, so the laws of reflection obeyed in regular reflection. Statement 1 is correct. Then see question number. A ray of light falls on a surface making an angle of 30 degree with the horizontal. What will be the angle of incident ray and the angle of reflected ray? See, this is the ray falls on the surface. This is 30 degree. Okay, suppose this is, if we draw a normal, okay, that means it is normal. Since it is normal, so this angle must be what? 90 degree. So it is 30. So this angle 60 degree. That means angle of incidence equal to 60 degree. So angle of reflection must be also 60 degree. Now the angle formed by the incident ray and the reflected ray. That means what will be the angle between incident ray? This is the angle. So 120 degree. Answer is D. 120 degree. Understand this? Then see question number 4. If we change the angle of incidence by an angle 20 degree, how much will the angle of reflection change? Okay, if we change angle of incidence 20 degree, so angle of reflection must be also changed in 20 degree. So answer is A. Okay. Do you understand? Then question number 4. Glare of light is a characteristic of regular reflection. Irregular, both A and B, none of the above. It is answer A, since when a parallel beam of light falls on a smooth surface. Okay, after reflection, what we have seen? The lights are also reflected, rays are also parallel. Okay, this is. So that is, glare of light is a characteristic of regular reflection. Now we learn how images are formed in a plane mirror. Okay, when a beam of light falls on a mirror, okay, in case of regular or irregular reflection, images are formed. When we reflected rays, we drawn. Okay, if the rays actually or virtually meet at a point, we get an image. If the reflected rays actually meet at a point, then we get a real image. If the rays does not meet actually at a point, if we extend the reflected rays and we see that, we imagine that the reflected rays meet at a point, then we get an virtual image. Okay, here it is the source. Okay, this is OA. OA, suppose this is incident ray, it is also OB, incident ray. After reflection, this go in this direction and this goes in this direction. Okay, if we imaginary extend these rays, they will meet at a point O dash. This is the virtual image of the object O. Okay, now how images are formed in multiple reflectors. Okay, when images are or reflecting surfaces are kept at an angle, suppose theta, here we get a formula, find the number of how many images are formed at the mirror. Okay. If the angle is theta between two reflecting surface, then this is the formula 360 divided by theta minus 1. If the reflectors are placed at an angle 90 degree, then how many images are formed? 360 divided by 90 minus 1, 4 minus 1 equal to 3. If the angle between two reflectors is 60 degree, then how many images are formed? 5. If the angle between two reflecting surfaces is 0, that number of images formed is equal to infinity. Suppose the two surfaces, reflecting surfaces are kept parallelly. Suppose you take two mirrors and you keep the mirrors parallelly, and between the mirrors you put an object. How many images are formed? Infinite number of images are formed. And if we observe the images, what we have seen, the large images are not so strong. The quality of the images are poor. Okay, because when light falls on a surface, two events happen. Some light, the surface absorbs, some reflected, and some transpired. That means অসমীয়াত ক'লে আমাৰ হ'ব অলপ কি কৰে, সি শোষণ কৰে, এবজৰ্ব কৰে, অলপমান ৰিফ্লেক্ট কৰে, আৰু অকণমান কি কৰিব, বেছি সংখ্যক ৰিফ্লেক্ট কৰে আৰু অকণমান কি কৰে, ৰিফ্লেকশ্যন. চ' ইমেজেছ বিকামছ নট ক্লিয়াৰ. অ'কে, students, see the questions. This is the question. If two plane mirrors are inclined at an angle 30 degree, how many images are formed? What is the angle between them? 30 degree. Theta is equal to, using the formula, n is equal to 360 divided by 30 minus 1 equal to number of images 11. In a thick plane mirror, which image is the brightest? First image, second image, third, last image, second image. Okay. Question number 3. Two mirrors are placed at an angle 90 degree. This is 90 degree. A ray of light incident on first mirror as shown. Find the angle of reflected ray on the second mirror. Angle of, okay, this is reflected angle. Here you draw the normal. Okay, it is 60 degree, so this 30 degree, this is 30 degree. It is 90 degree, so this angle is 60 degree. 60 plus 90, 150, this is 30 degree. See, it is also 30 degree, so the angle of reflection must be 60 degree. Okay, here you draw normals and you can find easily, or using the property of triangle. This is 60, this is 60, so this angle must be 60. It is 90, so it is 30. Since it is 30, it is 30. So this, while here you draw a normal, the angle of reflection is 60 degree. Question number 4. When we place an object between two parallel mirrors, in case of parallel mirrors, what is the angle between them? The angle between them is 0. So number of images infinite. Which of the following instrument is based on the theory of multiple reflection? Microscope, periscope, kaleidoscope, B and C. Kaleidoscope. And this is our lesson for you. If you understand this clearly, please ask me questions. Okay, students, we always want to help you. Bye bye.